Alright, so we're back. I apologize for that. I'm sharing my screen with you now. So let's get started looking at our Google Drive. So if you want to access your Google Drive, you can do that through an app. You can also do that through the web, just typing in drive.google.com. You can also access that in your Google Apps. If you're logged into your Gmail or something else, up here, your Google Apps, you can access your Google Drive. So just looking around, you can see mine is kind of busy and there's a lot of stuff here. But yours may or may not look like this, depending on how much stuff you have. I am a kind of a file hoarder, and I'm still in the process of trying to organize stuff. So this kind of looks like on the show, The Hoarders. You can see all my folders, and I've got some files that are not in folders. So hopefully I will get it all organized. Just taking a look around Google Drive, it has kind of changed a little bit. You can see up here, depending on what view that you have, make sure everybody, okay. So you can see you have quick access windows or tabs. This is what you've accessed the most or that you've opened recently. You can get quick access to that. This also has your folders, if you create any folders. And over here on the left, this is your side menu. So you can access your drive here, and it shows you all your folders kind of lined up and organized. And this has your shared drives. These are, if someone in like the county creates a shared drive, this used to be called Team Drive, so that's where a lot of stuff may live that everybody has access to. Shared with me, that's if anybody shared something with you, a file-wise or doc-wise, this is where that is located. I always like this Recents tab. This lets you easily access anything that you've worked on or created recently, and so I always go to that quite often. You've got your starred tab. This is if you have starred a document, and I'll show you that here in just a little bit. But this is like your favoriting a document or a folder so that you can easily find that and access it. Then you have your trash here. So that is just the side menu. You also have priority. This is something new that just got put into place a few weeks ago. This is the things that you access the most, and also is where you can create workspaces. And you can, it's sort of like project folders that you can easily access, and I'll show you that here shortly. A few more things just looking around in Drive. You have this plus new button, and this is how you can create a new folder. You can upload a folder. You can create a Google Doc, a Google spreadsheet, Google presentation, which is called Google Slides. And if you hover over the more, you have all this other things that you can create. Here, one of my favorites is Google Jamboard. I accidentally clicked on that. That's an interactive whiteboard, so that's one of my favorite tools that you can use. So that is how you can create stuff within Drive. You also, up here at the top, this shows me that my Google Drive is ready to work offline. If I click on that, then that lets me know that it can be used offline. And on Chromebooks, if you don't have internet access, you can still work in your Google Drive and work on some things. And to turn the offline access, you will click the gear icon and settings, and then you'll make sure that this box is checked for offline. And then it may ask you, which McDowell County students, we pushed out the extension, the Google Docs extension that lets you work offline. So you don't have to download that, but you will have to check this box on your Chromebook so that you can access and work on things offline. One more thing in the settings, this make priority my default homepage. I have that checked. By default, that's probably not checked. And if you check that, when you load Google Drive, it's going to load your priority page that has your workspaces and has your most frequently opened documents. So I recommend that you turn that on. That way you can access the stuff that you use the most really quickly. So that's just a little quick tour of Google Drive. So now let's work on the organization part. So first thing, when you create something new, it automatically gives it a title of Untitled. So if I create a Google Doc really quickly, it says Untitled Document. First thing, if you create something, make sure you give it a title. You don't want a bunch of untitled documents in your drive because you're not going to know what they are. So first things first, let's give it a title. And we're all set to work on this document. Now, when I gave it a title, you can see some things have loaded these icons here. So if I star that, that's going to put this document in my starred folder. So that's one way I can organize. If I click this folder here, I can move it into a folder. And that's how you can keep organized. So if you create a folder for this, you can go ahead and move it into that folder so you can know where it's located. So organizing your folders, one thing you can do is you can right click on the folder and you can change it to a color. So if you like to have a lot of color, you can change that folder a color. So if all your yellow folders are your reading materials or something else, that's up to you. So you can give each color kind of like a category, and that way they're easily recognizable. You can also, and this is really cool. Let me right click on this one. I'm going to rename it. Let's say I wanted to add some visuals. You can add emojis to the titles of your folders and your documents. If you right click, and I'm on a MacBook, so if you're on a Chromebook, you should have access to the emoji keyboard. So it will probably say emoji here. So I'm going to click emoji. And let's see if we can find something that goes along with that title real quickly. Let's just choose this frisbee here, even though that has nothing to do with copiers. You can see how that you can add visuals to titles, and you can see it has organized that by title. So if you put the emoji before the title, it's going to organize all your emojis first, just like it would if you were numbering these. So that's one way that you can add some visuals to your title. Also, if you right click on the folder and click view details, you can add a description here in the box that pops up so that you can describe what contents are in that folder. And that's another way that you can stay organized. If you click this activity tab, it's going to show you the activity on your Google Drive. Okay, so it's kind of like showing you the breadcrumbs and the history of your Google Drive with that particular folder or with your whole drive in general. One thing I would suggest that you do if you haven't already is for the school year, I would create a master folder that you can put all of your work in, so that way you can easily access it. And then two, in that master folder, you can create subfolders so that you can organize your work even further. So if I wanted to create like a reading folder, I can do that within that folder. If you want to be specific and put your teacher's last name and the subject, that would be very helpful. If you want to share this folder, you can click the person icon up here and share it. You can type in their email address. If you want to make this so anybody that has the link to this folder directly, you can turn on link sharing. Now the county has locked this down a little bit so that by default you can only share it with McDowell County Schools folks. If you wanted to share it with someone outside of McDowell County Schools, you can click more and do anyone with the link. I would highly suggest that you don't share anything publicly unless it's something for the common good. Okay, so it's good to keep things within the realm of McDowell County Schools as much as possible. Okay, and only sharing documents and things with people that that truly need access to that. Okay. My timer is running fast here. Another thing that you can do is search for files. So if you click on the search button, it shows me who I've interacted with the most, and I can we'll click on Alyssa and see what she has shared with me. So this shows me everything that she owns and that she's shared with me so that I can easily access that. Now if I wanted to add one of these to one of my drive files so I can easily access it, I can right click on it and click add to my drive, and that way I don't have to search for that document again. It doesn't change the ownership of that document, but it will move it into the folder that I put it in. And my time is about up, so that is a little bit of the basics of Google Drive, and hopefully this will help you stay organized. Like I said, mine's a work in progress. It stays a work in progress, so if you start out organizing and stay organizing, it will look a whole lot better than what you think, and it won't take you long to organize in the future. So I'm Adam Wiseman. I hope you have a great night, and tune in tomorrow. We'll be doing some more tech tips, and enjoy the rest of your evening.